And we pointed this out in our show today, the use of the term "the line." And in fact, I asked Haas, if you're Yanukovych and you're sitting there and you hear President Obama talking about lines, how resonant is that? How much does the red line of Bashar al-Assad, the threat that if Bashar al-Assad used chemical weapons against his own people, that would be crossing a red line for the president? How much does that mean? He said it was a fair question. Obviously, you don't know. The other thing that was interesting was that Haas said that he thought U.S. options, there were far fewer options in Ukraine than in Syria. And one of the reasons, I imagine, would be because of Putin and his alliance with Yanukovych. And, you don't want this to be it already is a proxy conflict. You don't want it to be a proxy war. So the options are quite limited, Haas said. But I agree. I was surprised by the use of the term line. And also I thought was interesting, what consequences are there? What will they be? Secretary of State John Kerry today raised the specter of sanctions, as did the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine last night. But it's not clear exactly what the full toolkit, as Deputy National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes referred to today, what's in that toolkit? What can the U.S. do? It will be interesting to see what happens when the foreign ministers from Europe come to Kiev and talk to Yanukovych and
Jake Tupper,
foreign minister there.
It's almost as though someone said to him right before he went out, whatever you do, don't use the word lines. And he couldn't help himself because it's like a heat-seeking missile following the story lead. Is Obama threatens another red line. He didn't use red, obviously, but is he that unaware of the consequences, not of the Ukrainian knockdown, but of his Syrian collapse?
Well, look, I mean, you're asking me to get into the president's brain, and I can't do that. But I can say a couple things. One is, I think one of the things that the president knows is that there is a tremendous reluctance for the U.S., among the American people, for the U.S. to get involved in another military conflict right now. That's something that the nation is war weary. And so I believe that the president and the White House feel that actions that end up not leading to war, whether it's seen as weakness by some or not, whether it's seen as backing away from a red line or not, ultimately that the president will enjoy support for not taking the country to war. I think that that's one calculation that they make.
But you know what's interesting, Jake?
I don't know that it's wrong. It might be cynical, but I don't know that it's wrong.